got a 2008 Toyota Camry 2.4 cylinder. And I'm gonna show you how to change the belt tensioner. If you listen, you hear the pulley. And if you look at this pulley right here, right there, it has a slight side-to-side warp to it. So I'm gonna show you how to fix that today. First thing you're gonna wanna do is release the tension off the belt so you can slip it off the alternator. But I have a problem with that already. You see this piece right here? This shiny piece behind this pulley right here? That's where you're supposed to put a 19mm socket to release the pressure off it. You put your socket on there with a pry bar and you push down slowly, releasing the pressure off it. And as you push it down, the belt will loosen and you'll be able to pop it off with a pulley right here, alternator. So you just want to do. Being that mine is broken, I'm gonna cut the belt off. This job requires you to remove the upper engine mount. You got one bolt here. You got one bolt here. You're gonna want a WD-40, PB Blaster, whatever lubricant you have to prevent rust, because if you look at that, it has a tremendous amount of rust there. So spray this, and then you're gonna go down to where your belt tensioner is, and you see the bolt. You see this bolt back here. This is your pulley. This is where the piece should be that broke off to release the pressure, the tension. And if you look back here, you have a bolt right there. Hit that with PB Blaster, WD-40, whatever you got. Next step, you're gonna have to pull passenger side front wheel off to gain access to the lower half. Lug nuts, they're 21mm. Take them off, pull your tire off. Okay, you got your tire off. Always check the brakes when you do the tires. You see the pads there, pads there. Look in between the caliper, you see about 50% remaining. There you go. Maybe 65, 75% remaining. That's two 10mm bolts, 1, 2. And then you have, follow this back, you have a clip you gotta work out. So once you take these two bolts out, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a clip that goes in here that goes toward the front. You pop that clip out, you take off your plastic cover, inner fender. You're gonna hit that nut right there with PB Blaster. And that's, if you look under here, there's your belt tensioner. There's the strut that push the pressure on the belts. And there's the idler pulley right there. So I want to take this nut off here, 14mm. When you look at the new one, here's the bottom of the strut here. 14mm nut is down there, and the one below that I showed you right there, that I took out. And then you have a bolt, a long bolt, goes through this part. So visualize it like that inside the car. That bolt, see it back there? Right where my finger is. You're gonna need a 14mm wrench, the longest one you have, and a 15. And I'll show you why. There's my wrench on the bolt in the back, 14mm. You're gonna take, this is how it's called, a cheater wrench. Got your 14 on there, take your 15 and put it in there like that. This helps you break the nut loose. See? That's it. The nut is broken. The bolt is broken, I mean. Now, if you have a ratchet wrench like this, you're gonna get in there, just keep going, keep going. It's a long bolt. And I'll show you what to do after you get that bolt as loose as you can. One thing to remember, as that bolt comes out, you got your frame right here. It's gonna hit the frame. So if you have your ratchet wrench on there and you keep backing it out, and you don't give yourself enough room, It's gonna get stuck in there and make your world more hell than you can imagine. When you get it to this point where, see that bolt? The bolt's pretty much on top of the frame already. But if you follow these brake lines going toward the back from the brake distributor, going to the back, it's in the way. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is leave it like that hanging there with the bolt sitting on top of the frame like I have it. Take your 14 millimeter, pull this bolt out, pull this bolt out. I'll show you the next step. After you get these two bolts out, this wishbone will come up and out. Comes out this way and then up. Took the two bolts out. Got this rubber ring isolator so it don't make squeaky sounds. Got this bolt out. So pull this back, grab them both together, pull it up, and it's out. You leave it right there. Do not lose rubber washers, one on each side. You're gonna take your jack with a block of wood like that. There's your oil pan right there. Put your wood underneath your oil pan like so. Slowly jack it up. Nice and slow. Right there. That's it. That gives you more room on the top end. Have patience. You're gonna wiggle that bolt. Wiggle the belt tensioner. Slowly rock it back and forth. Keep wiggle. And eventually it'll come out. Takes patience. It's gonna test you here. Okay. After about 45 minutes to an hour, you got the old one out, new one back in. Here's the old one. There's the broken tab that I said, piece of crap. And if you listen to the pulley, hear that? That's a bad pulley. Bearing inside. Okay? And the way this thing came out, like I showed you when you had the bolt sitting on top of the frame like that, is you had to push this part with the bolt toward the back of the engine, grab the strut like this, and pull up. Wiggle it. It's a nightmare. Took me, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour to get one out and one in. But that's the way, the motion of it, how I found it to come out. Like that, grab the strut, pull it up. This goes underneath like that and comes out like that. And to put it back in is the same deal, like that. Put your bolt in at this point right here, like so. And push it in just like that, in that motion. It ain't easy, believe me. Once you get it in there, you're gonna tighten the nut on the bottom, put the nut on, finger tight. Take your ratchet wrench and go to town on that bolt, very slow. Don't cross thread, you don't need cross thread. It'll catch. Just keep going at it with the ratchet wrench until it tightens up. At least that part went smooth. Next step is to take your wishbone, dog bone, wishbone, put it in like so. That goes in there. It's your rubber washers. They go in all at one side. I can't do it with one hand. But you take one washer here, put it back in. Catch the bolt with your hand first. One going through, top one going down. And that's it, drop it back down. Okay. Tighten up my bolts on the wishbone. Got the rubber washers in place. Got the belt routed the right way. Basically, you go around the alternator, go around the water pump, backside, it loops back around to the bottom, goes around the AC compressor. Around the AC compressor, if you look down there, it goes around the crank. Okay? From the crank, it loops back over the idler pulley, belt tensioner we just put in, and goes around the back to the power stand pump in the back. Put your breaker bar in the adjustment to take the pressure off the belt. Pry it towards you. This is the final pulley you put it on. It slips right over and you're good to go. Final step, you're gonna take your plastic shield, got your two 10mm bolts and your clip, button them back in, put your tire back on, torque them down to specs, and you're good to go. These are the part numbers from Advanced Auto. There's the part number. Here's the part number for the belt. Hope that video helped you. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. I get back to everybody. If have any requests for any other problems with your cars, send them to me. Try to help everyone out. If I don't know the answer, I'll get them for you. All right? Take care, fellas. God bless. On a side note, when you're a mechanic working on your own car, this is what you get paid. KFC. Cookies. So, 2-hour job, you get paid 1 cookie, and you're good to go.